She got me like.
Welcome back! Today I have for you this Alice in Wonderland inspired look. I was so excited to do this look, you have no idea. I love everything about it. I think it looks a little creepy. I think it makes me look a little insane. It's kind of the point of the whole Mad Hatter look in Alice in Wonderland is you are kind of supposed to look a little bonkers, and I think that that's okay. This is definitely not a look that you are going to want to rock during a tea date in the afternoon with grandmother. Well, if you're my grandmother, you would probably absolutely love it, but the palette I used to go with it is this guy. Woo, this is gonna fall out. Is this guy right here. It's the Alice Through the Looking Glass Urban Decay palette. Oh my goodness, I love this so much. It was a little pricey, but you know what, for good reason. It's a limited edition, and everything about this packaging, like, it's just beautiful. It's one of those, like, collector's items that I am definitely going to display. It's obviously not something that I am going to, you know, take with me and throw it in my kit whenever I go and do jobs. Like, this is just for me, this is just for personal use, because it is, one, ginormous, it's huge, and, you know, I don't think a bride is going to want to rock, you know, a green eye, you know, or maybe pink. Yeah, so these are the colors that come in the palette, and they are just wild and crazy and beautiful. The way that this goes is it is kind of divided up by rows and by, like, character category. So this little section right here is Alice. This one right here is the Mad Hatter. This side over here is Time. So it's really cool how they set this up. So I'm just going to give you a little rundown, a little mini review of how the palette is. It's not like you haven't seen it already. I feel like everybody has done a review on this palette. It's been so popular, so much hype. So whenever you open it up, it's going to have a little mirror right in here. And then it has this quote, which I think is the coolest quote ever. It says, "I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. My reality is just different from yours." I think that is so cute. And then when you open it up, you get this butterfly, like, just for kicks. Like, seriously? How gorgeous is that? Where you pull out the shadows, because this is, you're able to take this completely out of the palette. I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I must have changed several times since then. It's just so Alice in Wonderland. The palette is amazing. I really loved the pigmentation and just the shadows. They were pretty easy to work with. Lots of pigment, and Urban Decay, they just did an amazing job, because this is such a cool palette. This is what I came up with. It's fun for a night out. It's fun if you want something different and crazy and bold. So I love it. So again, the Alice Through the Looking Glass, I believe it is in theaters right now. I've not gotten around to see the movie yet, but I know that I want to do that very soon. Tim Burton is my ultimate favorite ever, and he has been my favorite since I was literally 5 years old. Like, James and the Giant Peach is my jam all day, every day. That is no lie. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. This is definitely a wild look, and it's something that I have not done yet on my channel. So I think that's all I have to say. Yes, anyways, thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.
Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and this is going to be in the shade Eden. I am going to put this stuff all over my eyelid. I'm basically just blanking out the whole eyelid, really all around the eye. I'm going to be using my ring finger because this is going to be the lightest finger for application, especially since we're dealing with such sensitive skin, which is our eyelids, and just all around the eye area. As you see here, I'm taking it like in the inner corner, like in the hollows of my eyes, because I'm going to be putting shadow in that area, just like I am taking it underneath the bottom lash line, obviously, because I will be smoking out my bottom lash line pretty heavily. So basically just taking this primer all around the eye. Then we're just going to go ahead and jump right into shadow with the palette. The first shade that I'm going to be taking is Reflection, and it is just a really pretty creamsicle color. It reminds me a lot of Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek. I'm taking that on a Sigma E40 brush, and I'm just basically buffing that all into the crease. This is going to be like our transition shade. This color I'm taking is Paradox, and I'm going to be using that on a Morphe G20 brush. I spritzed my brush a little bit with some MAC Fix Plus because I do want this color to be very intense, and I wanted it to have the highest pigmentation that it possibly could. So that's why I'm doing this. And I am just placing this color all into the center of the eyelid. So just building up that color, making sure I'm not exceeding that crease area. The next color I am taking is the really pretty like eggplant deep purple, and it is in the shade Gone Mad. I am using, I don't even know why I'm using this brush. It was the first thing that I saw and I grabbed it. It's from Sonia Kashuk. I don't know the number of it, but I was placing that color in the inner and the outer corner, and that is the deepest color is that I applied. It was going to be in the inner and the outer corner. I am then taking a Morphe M441, yes, brush, and I'm taking that same Gone Mad shade, and I am just basically haloing it around the eyelid, but I'm not going to be taking it as intense as I was in the inner and outer corner, because I want that color to be most intense in the inner and outer corner. So as you see here, again, taking that same shade, just using a very light hand and haloing it all around the eyelid or the eye socket, and this color is going to wrap around that Paradox shade. So I'm just taking my time buffing it. I will go back and forth, adding more color, making it more deep and intense in the inner and outer corner. Then I'll go back with my Morphe M441 and buff it out, and then I'll go back in and I'll deepen it more. So this is just a game of, you know, blending, making it deeper. And so just take your time, and then as you see here, I'm getting my Morphe, or not Morphe, Sigma E40, and just buffing that whole area out. I did want it to have a winged effect, so that's why you see me here dragging that color like out, like pushing it out. I took my time on this, but I really, really liked the effect that it gave, so that's why I'm basically dragging that shadow out. So using my Morphe M441 to do so with very, very little product. It basically just took what I had on my eye already and winged it out. I applied my lashes off camera because my camera was fixing to die, but I used the Eylure Lashes in 126, I think. I don't know. I'll link it below. And then I'm going to be taking my favorite, one of my top 3 favorite I can't speak today. My top 3 favorite drugstore foundations, and it is the Fit Me. I'm going to be filling in my brows here. I skimmed through this part just because they're just a whole other thing within itself, like I always say. And okay, yeah, I am going to be putting a little bit of the Anastasia brow gel just on the tail of my eyebrows. I feel like that is where they always want to like do their own thing and go crazy, so I'm applying a little bit in that area. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Concealer, and I am applying a generous amount of this. What am I kidding? I always apply a generous amount of concealer, but a generous amount in all the places that I want to conceal, highlight, so down the bridge of the nose, chin, you know, forehead, you know the drill. And I'm just going to be blending that out with a damp beauty sponge. This one is from Real Techniques. I really, really like this sponge a lot. It's been the only one I've been using for the past like several months. So just blending that out, never swipe, never wipe. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it's just, it can get a little crazy. You can kind of wipe your foundation off along with the concealer if you like swipe it or wipe it too hard. So always dab and press and pat. And that is what you see me doing here. I don't know what got into me today. I felt the need to like do my brows before concealer, and I never do that. That's why I was like having to be extra careful right here. I don't know. I was feeling like a rebel. What can I say? Anyways, I felt like the concealer was just a little bit too bright for me since it is summertime and I've gotten a little bit more tan. So I just took my same foundation brush and I went over the areas where I put that concealer just to balance it out because I was looking a little stark white there for a second. I am just going to be setting all the places where I just put that concealer with my trusty MAC Emphasize powder. And then I'm going to be going in with the new Urban Decay eyeliner, and this is in the shade Walk of Shame. This is one of the 2 new pencils they came out with. Looking back at it now, I wish I would have used a more like stark white eyeliner, but whatever, it is what it is. I just wanted to open up the eyes a little bit more. This part is completely like optional. This is so unnecessary. You don't have to do this, but I just wanted to bring out all the stops for you guys. So this is actually the new NYX eye pencil. They launched a whole bunch of different colors for the summer, and this is in the shade Mint Condition. I am basically putting that right under the waterline and dragging it down because I am going to be using shadow and I'm going to be buffing it pretty intensely. So you do not need to do this. This is just going to help the color be a little bit more vibrant. For the next shade, I will be taking Hatter, and this for me was just kind of like the star of the show. It's such a beautiful clover green, and I'm just taking this on a small detailer brush. Again, these shadows are so pigmented on their own. You don't need, you know, an extra eyeliner to go under it, but I just wanted to pull out all the stops again. For the next color, I'll be taking Cake, and I am going to be placing this shadow into the inner socket of the eye. And this is definitely a spot where I do not normally, or anyone for that matter, places shadow like that far into the socket. But that's why I wanted to do it for this look, because I felt like I could take advantage of the look because it's so fun and bold and different. But I really, really, really liked the way that it came out. For my bronzer or contour, I'm going to be using the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. I was a little sad because I had just purchased the new beach bronzer from Urban Decay, and I could not find it anywhere. I feel like a little gnome and went into my makeup bag and just stole it, but I still have not found it till this day. But anyways, I'm just taking just an angled brush and putting that on all the places where I went to contour, and I'm going to be getting a big all over face brush and just blending that out, just to make sure that nothing is looking too harsh or patchy, and I'm taking very little product on that brush. For my cheeks, I wanted something very neutral. Obviously the eyes are speaking for themselves, so I did not want anything too dramatic. That's why I wanted to keep it very neutral. So I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution blush in the shade Nude. It's just such a pretty neutral terracotta shade. It's honestly one of my favorites. I've talked about it in my last favorites video. Now here's another optional step for you. I am just taking the NYX, I think these are new, colored mascaras. There were so many different colors to choose from. They were all so pretty and pastel, but I went ahead and went with the lime green, and I am just putting a very generous amount. You kind of have to build these up. For my lips, I am using the new, I feel like everything is the new NYX, I forgot what color this is in, but I will link it down below. Originally, I had wanted to use a shade from the Mad Hatter from the collection, but I was just too late to get my hands on it, so I felt like this was the next best thing, and I love it. That's it, guys. This completes the look. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.